let's see. Starting to see some of you guys joining us live here at XLRSAVIATION. Give it a few more minutes as we build up that audience. ATL98 saying, "Hey XLRS, I've been waiting all day for this. Yay." Good to hear. Alright, just checking up on audio here. I'm going to move the mic to a little bit of a better place here, facing at me. There we go. Hopefully. My jacket is kind of flailing around in the wind a little bit, so you might hear that a little bit. ATL98 saying the chat is a bit empty. That's right, but hopefully it'll build up throughout the broadcast today. Daniel, hello. Thank you for joining us. For those of you just joining, you have just tuned in to our final happy hour broadcast here at XLRSAVIATION. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a gloomy day and quite windy, a bit chilly as well in the 60s, but you know what? We'll still go out with a bang here today. We're looking at hopefully a few hours of broadcasting here at O'Hare today on XLRSAVIATION Live. Hopefully we'll get our viewership up throughout the broadcast. Still working on some mic placement here. Trying to make sure you guys get the best audio possible from both me and the broadcast. Let's see, Coaster Boy. Good day from New Zealand. Nice clear stream. Thank you for joining us from New Zealand. Glad to have you here. It's awesome to have some international viewers, of course. Hope you are having a fantastic day in New Zealand. Hopefully this broadcast remains clear for all of you, and we can keep the tech gremlins away for a good little bit here as we begin the broadcast today here at O'Hare. Again, today I will be broadcasting solo. It's just me, your host, Xavier. Ryder is headed down to school down in Florida, where he will be beginning his pilot's training. So today's broadcast, the grand finale, will be hosted by yours truly, Javier. Daniel, regarding your question, unfortunately Ryder's not here. He's the true aviation expert. I kind of lean on the tech side of things, so unfortunately I'm not totally sure how to answer your question where runway Mike is, but I can provide you the runway numbers. Currently we are watching arrivals on runway 28 center, as well as 27 right on the north side of the airport, and in front of your screens is the penalty box where we are currently located. This aircraft you're currently looking at, American Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner, arriving from London. It's been on the tarmac for about 18 minutes now here at O'Hare, awaiting for its gate. Next up, we'll head to an arrival. This one, United Express from Lincoln, Nebraska, an Embraer E175 long range. And now departing on your screens, folks, we have an Atlas Air 74 off to Tokyo NRT. And it's Tokyo Narita. This Atlas Airlines in the all-white livery. No paint job whatsoever. Thankfully, we are at a beautiful viewing location where you guys will catch the skyline as these aircrafts depart. As you can see, we've got a great vantage point today here on the stream. ERB in the chat saying, at XLRSAVIATION, happy Friday. That's right, thank you very much. You are tuning in to our final Friday happy hour broadcast of what was a wonderful summer. For those of you unfamiliar with the area, tomorrow is the Chicago Air Show. Let me know in the chat if any of you guys will be attending that. Today was their practice run, and then tomorrow is going to be day one of the Air and Water Show, featuring the Blue Angels. You may see some videos uploaded to the channel shortly from the Air and Water Show in Chicago. Here's up on the north side of the airport, we have an MD-11. Quite a unique arrival for us spotters here at O'Hare. And this arrival coming in with the east flow here into O'Hare and landing on 28 Center, the southernmost runway here at O'Hare for heavy arrivals. There's a wonderful shot of that tri-jet for all of you viewing at home. Let me know in the comments, of course, where is home? Where are you currently tuning in from? Here at XLRS Aviation Live, we love having our domestic and international audience. It appears we have our first super chat of the live stream. Let's get the camera set for just one moment, everybody. That's right, we do have our first super chat of the broadcast. This super chat rolling in from AV Geek Tours, a $10 super chat saying, for the grand finale, thank you for bringing a little of aviation love to us from ORD. Of course, and thank you so much for tuning in and sending your generous super chat. We very much appreciate the support, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, those super chat donations will be rolled back into the production of these broadcasts. It appears our American Airlines arrival is currently on the move here at O'Hare. It's been sitting on the tarmac for a little while now, but that Dreamliner is apparently found a gate and will be taxiing shortly to said gate. And folks, here we go with our next heavy arrival, back-to-back Atlas 747 departures. Quite lucky for all of you viewing here at XLRS Aviation Live. It's not a typical situation having two back-to-back 747s. Nonetheless, the same airline. And of course, in just a moment, you'll see that beautiful Skyline, Chicago Skyline, as this aircraft departs O'Hare International Airport. Alright, looking through the comments real quick. We've got lots and lots of questions and comments in the comment live chat section. Let's see, Jeff asking, why is the stream titled The Grand Finale? That's a great question. For those of you that are loyal XLRS Aviation fans, you know that we have been broadcasting every Friday with our happy hour special here at O'Hare throughout the summer. Unfortunately, this is our final broadcast at O'Hare for the summer. We will unfortunately no longer be doing those Friday broadcasts. You can, of course, look forward to those happening again sometime in the near future, hopefully summer 2025. But as of summer of 2024, this is our final broadcast, likely of the year, until it rolls around to potentially winter and Christmas time. We may potentially bring you guys some live action here in the snow at O'Hare, dependent on the situation. But of course, your hosts, Xavier, who is me. I am commentating and currently operating camera, as well as Ryder, who typically would be operating the camera and doing all of your live commentation, who is currently on his way down to college. Two of us have some lives to go live the next few months away from home. So unfortunately, this is our final broadcast of the summer and the final one of this series. I did not know about that crash in Brazil. I have not heard anything about that, but thank you for informing me. Interesting. Julie, I just left ORD about an hour ago. The runways were stacked with waiting outbounds. Interesting. We do have quite a good bit of action here on the runway, but not too many departures at the moment. No survivors. Wow. That's not so great situation. Huh. Let's see. Back to the positivity. Jack tuning in from England. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. We've got Julie tuning in from Arlington Heights, Illinois, 7 miles from ORD. It's a familiar area to me. Tucson, Arizona, AV Geek Tour says. Thank you for joining us from Southern America. Well, I can't say South America. That would entail other things, but Arizona. Appreciate you tuning in from afar. And, of course, we're thankful for all of you tuning in here at XLRS Aviation. ERB saying wonderful shot. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying it. All right, let's get back to some heavy aircraft action. It appears we've got a handful of departures up on the north side of the airport, as well as our SAS arrival that just landed a few minutes ago. Again, this is our final happy hour broadcast of the summer, so you can look forward to some great content from Oshkosh, potentially the Chicago Air Show, and Florida. Potentially some Air Force action, but again, this is our final O'Hare broadcast of the summer. Great question rolling in from ATL. No, I actually do not typically have food up here, but I've got some reserves. The backup, of course, a good old granola bar if need be, but for the vast majority of these broadcasts, Ryder and I do not eat too much, focused purely on bringing you all the best viewer experience we can give without too many interruptions on our end. So hopefully that helps answer your question. We do have some food, of course, just in case, but we will not be taking any breaks or anything like that to have a big old dinner, nothing like that. We've got Jeffrey tuning in from New Orleans. Thank you for joining us. Again, we've got a great vantage point here today at O'Hare with the Chicago skyline in view. We'll follow our next arrival before I look through the comment live section. Of course, if you do enjoy these broadcasts, although it is the last grand finale broadcast of the year, feel free to subscribe. Turn on those notifications so that when we do come back and begin broadcasting soon, you will be notified of all the live action we will be bringing you from O'Hare. Get you guys that beautiful skyline view for a moment there. It is currently 5:58, which means in just 2 minutes, folks, we will be bringing you our very first top of the hour of today's broadcast here on XLRS Aviation Live. Again, as many of you do know already, this is our final broadcast of the year, so we'll make it a good one. If you have any urge to send in donations, the super chat button is currently enabled, and you can send as little as 99 cents, which we will roll back into the production of the content that you see on your screens, brought to you by XLRS Aviation. Jack J saying, close to London, so it's late, but I'm willing to watch. Thank you so much for joining us from close to London. Glad to have you here, and I'm glad you're spending your night with XLRS Aviation Live. It's a great place to be, great place to wind down for those of you that are getting ready to go to sleep soon. Get a little bit of aviation action before you call it quits and go to sleep. 727 from the previous live is still parked. That's right, ATL. That 727 has pretty much permanently actually been parked here at O'Hare. We never really know why it's here or what it's doing, but we can see they're currently cleaning it. And yeah, it has been here at O'Hare for, gosh, I think years now at this point. It's just kind of sat here in the penalty box. It's quite odd, I believe, but nonetheless, an interesting experience. As you can all see up on the north side of the airport, we've got a 7-4 arriving up on 27 right. Let's drive a little Silkway 7-4. All right, it is that time. That time being our very first top of the hour of today's broadcast. Here we go, everybody. Let's get to it. Our very first top of the hour. Well, everybody, you are currently watching a live broadcast with live feed from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport here on XLRS Aviation Live. It is August 9th, 2024. Current time is 6:02 p.m. It is 73 degrees with some light winds and a bit chilly and overcast, but nonetheless a great day to be spotting, of course. Thank you for tuning in. I am Xavier, your host for today. Typically, I would be joined by Ryder, who is your co-host and camera operator, but it is a one-man show today here at XLRS Aviation Live. Again, you are watching the grand finale here at XLRS Aviation Live, the final happy hour broadcast of the summer. Unfortunately, that does mean summer is beginning to wrap up. Time to go to school for the two of us, but we thank you all so much for tuning in over the summer and joining us here on the broadcast throughout the last few months. It's been a great experience learning how to broadcast during the summer with all of you and developing our skills. Hopefully we'll come back even bigger and better next time. That is next summer if we do continue with these happy hour broadcasts next summer. Hopefully we will. Again, you are watching live content, live broadcasting from O'Hare International Airport here on XLRS Aviation Live. We've got a $20 super chat rolling in from PHOP444 saying, what are we all supposed to do on Friday nights now? Appreciate all you do. Thank you so much for your generous donation. And, you know, quite frankly, not really sure what I'm going to do with myself on Friday nights now that we're not going to be hanging out at O'Hare and broadcasting all the time. I'm so used to blocking off time to come do this and entertain all of you viewers. Let's get back to the top of the hour. There we go. Again, thank you so much, PHOP444, for that $20 super chat. Hopefully you guys will all find a wonderful way to preoccupy yourselves in the future. But if you don't, just remember, we will be back, and there will always be content flowing here at XLRS Aviation. Fortunately, it looks like we've got some connection issues at the moment, but hopefully those will roll through and we won't have any more problems. So let's get back to some live action. Alrighty, everybody, let's get back to it. Hopefully with some solid connection for the next few hours. I do think we'll probably wrap up around 7:38 or 8, so you guys will have a solid hour and a half of live broadcasting here from O'Hare for our final happy hour broadcast of the year. And hopefully we'll maintain some solid connection. And of course, if we don't, we'll be back. Just may have to finagle a little bit, kick out all the tech bugs, play around with the hotspot connection. Hopefully it'll maintain though, and we'll keep a solid connection throughout the broadcast today. Again, that 727 currently being serviced. It almost appears as if it's being de-iced, but I'm not really sure what's happening over there. De-iced, cleaned. They may be using it for training purposes at this point. But nonetheless, quite an interesting sight to see here at the airport. Yeah. I do believe it may be for de-icing training. Yeah. ATL saying there are now 62 people watching. That's great. Glad to have all of you tuned in here at XLRS Aviation Live. That is, in fact, good news. Let's bring you all over to some taxiing here at the south side of the airport. This aircraft you are currently viewing does not appear to be on the radar, which is quite interesting. This is interesting, folks. I stand corrected. It is a United Express according to the flight radar, but quite frankly, I think you and I can both agree that it's not a United Airlines flight. There's an American Eagle right there, supposedly arriving from Peoria. Again, flight radar indicating that this is a United Express Mitsubishi. Quite odd. Renat saying, sad to know that this is the last Friday happy hour stream. Have a great time at college. Thank you so much for your support. I'll do my darndest, and hopefully you all will be back with us in the future when we bring these broadcasts back to your screens here on XLRS Aviation Live. And of course, we've got a little bit more spotting left in the broadcast today. At least an hour, assuming we've got stable connection. And hopefully we will be back with you all very, very soon. Whether it be a college break or next summer, we'll be sure to bring you some more action from O'Hare International Airport. Pip Hastings saying it's an Air Wisconsin CRJ200 that was probably painted over. Huh, quite interesting. It's kind of funny that flight radar still indicates it is a United Airlines aircraft, while it very much does not appear to be. Figure Daddy saying Felicia was built in 1974 and is used for de-icing training. Well, that would explain it. I've actually never gotten an answer to that. So assuming that you are correct, and I'm sure you are, this here on your screens, my friends, is Felicia, and was supposedly built in 1975 for de-icing training. That would certainly make sense why it's constantly in the penalty box, and good to know. So thank you for that information, Fig Daddy. Appreciate it. Up on the north side, we've got a Kalitta Air 74 arrival. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it heads up to North Cargo, which would mean we have a fantastic sweeping shot of this here 74 crossing in front of all of your screens in just a few minutes. Of course, we've got the beautiful Chicago skyline in the background of today's show. The Willis Tower, or as the G's call it, the Sears Tower, because of course that's the actual name. All right, everybody, get ready for a great head-on shot of this 747 as it makes its way up to hopefully the North Cargo Bay here at O'Hare. Again, just a reminder for this grand finale broadcast, we do have Super Chats enabled and are accepting up to just as little as 99 cents. We would really greatly appreciate your support as we bring you this final broadcast of the summer here at O'Hare. Turn right. Yes, there we go, everybody. Get ready for a great shot of this Skyline Air as it passes in front of the Chicago skyline. Again, the weather here in Chicago currently in the low 70s, overcast and a bit windy. Throughout the week it is supposed to warm up a good bit, back up into the 80s, and for the air show, for those of you going tomorrow, it should be in the 80s as well. If not the 80s, at least the high 70s. Hopefully we'll get some good sunshine tomorrow for any of you that are heading out to the beach. Here we go, everybody. Get ready. In just a moment, I'll look through that live chat. But again, for the next few minutes, I'm just going to bring you guys this wonderful live view of the Skyline Air 74 as it heads up to North Cargo, right in front of our camera, located up here on the North Hill at O'Hare. Right in front of the skyline, hopefully. Might even be able to see the pilots up there. I'm going to punch into the cockpit here for a moment as it passes in front of the screen once it's in the penalty box area so that we can take a look at those pilots, see if we get a little wave. It's very unlikely, but hey, you never know. All right, everybody, get ready. It's about to pass right in front of the Chicago skyline. Right, just a moment, I'm going to take a quick look at that comment section, get you guys a view of the taxiway here. All right, looking through the comments right here, we've got a $2 super chat, this one rolling in from Pip Hastings Aviation, saying, where are you headed to college? Good luck. First off, thank you very much for your super chat, appreciate your support, and I'll have you know I do tune into your broadcasts quite frequently here at O'Hare. Love to see some more broadcasters at the airport. I am currently on my way, as of Monday, heading down to Arizona. I'll be going to Arizona State University and doing film production down there. Anyone know why a Cargolux 74 is coming to Indianapolis to O'Hare, repositioning maybe? It may be a deadhead flight. Yes, that is quite possible. Again, thank you very much, Pip Hastings, for that $2 super chat. Greatly appreciate your support and love to see your broadcasts out of O'Hare as well. Everybody give this channel a quick look, if you will. Got plenty of consistent O'Hare broadcasting there at Pip Hastings Aviation. It's a great place to check out some action during the day. Iceland Air, that's right, ATL 98. Got the Iceland Air out on the tarmac as we speak. This current aircraft on your screen, again, Iceland Air is 767, arriving from Reykjavik. Flight time of just under 6.5 hours. Arrived at O'Hare about 2 minutes ago on runway 28 center. We will get that shot as it crosses the Chicago skyline here in just a moment. Sweet Arizona State, that's wonderful to hear. Portillo's, thank you for your kind words. Yeah, that's right. I'm not even sure exactly what you're referencing, but they do have a Portillo's down by Arizona State. If I ever felt the need to bring back my Chicago heritage, just head over to the Portillo's down the street from campus. Here's up on the north side, we've got a heavy departure. After today, I'm even more excited to head off down to Arizona. It's quite windy and chilly and overcast, but that's all right. It'll warm up here in Chicago. I've got a few more days to live it up. Pip Hastings saying, I'm hiding from the heat in Texas, but it's only like 93 today. Well, still quite hot, but at least it's a dry heat. That's what I've been told. AV Geek Tours, we have one in Tucson at 2. That's good to hear. Got Portillo's all over the place. I always thought it was purely a Chicago thing, but they've definitely branched out a good bit. Maybe someday we'll have In-N-Out roll up here into Chicago. I heard rumors of one potentially plotting a location in Naperville, I think it was. Arizona Rail saying, howdy, fellow plane spotter. Well, howdy, thank you for joining us. Glad you guys are all tuning in. We've got 93 of you currently viewing the broadcast, and hopefully a good, clear signal for all of you. I'm not totally sure because I'm just kind of working back behind the camera. Typically, I would be monitoring the stream quality and comment section and all that fun stuff, creating little graphics and everything while Ryder mans the camera, but unfortunately today Ryder's hiding down. Oh my goodness, what am I saying? Ryder is heading down to southern Florida, where he will begin his studies and will soon become a pilot, a commercial pilot. I'm sure some of you have already heard, but his dream job is to work as a commercial pilot for United. And supposedly in his junior year, he may potentially start receiving offers by both commercial and cargo airlines. He's already got his private pilot's license and is spending some time in the simulator as soon as he gets down to Florida. He'll be in the flight sim and I'll be behind the camera working on some screenwriting and directing and all that fun stuff, cinematography. I hope you pass college. Well, I sure do hope so as well. I'm fairly confident in my abilities, but you know what? Just keep our fingers crossed. I'll be fine. I'll come back to you all next summer with a thorough report of my freshman year. Ryder and I were talking, and we actually may fly at some point and visit each other, meeting up in Las Vegas to do some plane spotting, in which case we will hopefully bring you guys some live coverage and if not live, at least some content here on the channel from Las Vegas, potentially the Air Force Base as well. We're looking into seeing if we can get media credentials, which would be fantastic. See if we can get those journalism credentials in order to broadcast or at least bring you some live content from Las Vegas. That would be really, really cool, I think. And we'd love to bring you guys around the world with us for some plane spotting adventures or even just trip reviews. Ryder is big into making trip reviews, so hopefully him and I will coordinate something and bring you guys a trip review if we do end up flying and meeting each other for some broadcasting or content production. Let me know in the live chat, where would you like to see XLRS Aviation posting from, or potentially even going live from? We'll take it in consideration when we're thinking about how we intend to use the ad revenue. We'd love to bring you guys abroad, or even just to some different airports and get you some live or recorded action. So let us know down in the live chat. At one point, I suggested Alaska. I think that'd be kind of fun. Also quite expensive, as many of you may know. Possibly MIA. That's a good suggestion. Ryder's been down there a few times. I'm sure you guys have seen his footage on the channel down from Miami. But yeah, that actually may be something we could make work. It's neat that we have it here. It's mainly because of the fact that both the Cubs and the White Sox both have spring training here in Arizona. Yeah, that's true. My film school building is actually in Mesa, which is very, very close to Sloan Park, where the Cubs have their spring training. So I may even be able to head over and see some spring training. I've been told that that Mesa area of Arizona is pretty much just like Chicago Part 2, with better weather and clear skies. Anchorage would be dope. Yeah, I 100% agree. Maybe we can make that happen someday in the near future. How about DFW? Also a good suggestion. Somewhere that we could go during the winter that wouldn't be too freezing cold. Yeah, we'll have to take these into consideration and review this live chat when we're looking to figure out where exactly we want to broadcast from in the future. Since you're coming out here to Arizona, Sky Harbor is nice for when it comes to plane spotting. Yeah, I've thought about that. Maybe potentially bringing you guys some coverage from Phoenix Sky Harbor, depending on how busy I am and what I'm up to. But that may be kind of interesting if you guys want to see that, especially in the winter once it calms down to the 70s and 80s as opposed to the triple-digit weather, which is, I'm sure, not quite as fun to broadcast or record in. Our Kalita Air is currently still on the tarmac and has not yet gotten up to North Cargo, which is quite interesting. I'm sure it's just waiting for a parking spot at the moment, but it's been there for a little bit now. We've currently got 74 of you tuned in to XLRS Aviation. Glad to have each and every one of you here. On the north side, we've got a Cargolux 747 arrival. Coming to a stop here. Interestingly, we have an aircraft being towed, likely to either the penalty box or an empty holding position. engine's screeching pretty loud. Oh, it appears we've got a special livery out on the tarmac at the moment. Currently on your screens, the Turkish Airlines UEFA Champion League livery. Let's get a closer look at that. This particular aircraft, a 777 arriving from Istanbul, flight time of 11 hours flat. There's that special livery in the back end of that 777. Yen saying, at XLRSAVIATION, I just subscribed and hit the like button. Thank you very much for your support. I'm glad you have tuned in and glad you're here on the broadcast today. Thank you for sharing your support with us and subscribing. Again, if you do want to see future content posted by us, feel free to subscribe and you'll always be notified anytime that we bring you guys live content from O'Hare. So we'll have to wait until next summer to see the next live. Potentially, yeah. I'm not entirely sure what our schedule looks like. We may, depending on the weather and the situation, be able to actually bring you guys a broadcast or two over winter, maybe near Christmas. May do a Christmas special broadcast, hopefully with some snow on the ground, but no promises. If anything, of course, we intend to be back next summer for some happy hour broadcasts, and hopefully you guys will be around for those and we'll have even higher viewership. But again, of course, if you do want to be notified if we go live in the future, just feel free to subscribe and turn on those notifications. It's free to do, no pressure. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like, but that way you'll be notified if we do go live. And we've got a $5 super chat rolling in from Freak Daddy 4. We'll miss you guys. Really enjoyed your channel this summer. I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. It's been great looking through your comments, and we really thank you for your support here at XLRS Aviation. Freak Daddy's been around for a good while now here on the broadcasts. Great to see the support from you and, of course, all the rest of you guys that have been tuned in for our happy hour specials this summer. We've had a good handful of broadcasts and all sorts of weather, rain and shine. We've been live all throughout, whether we had a tent, whether we had a large ball of fire up in the sky, flaming us, burning us. It was worth it to bring all of you along with us to O'Hare International Airport. Again, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. We really appreciate your support and the support of all the rest of you who have been tuning in to our happy hour broadcasts, and those of you that are subscribed to XLRS Aviation. Of course, this is not all we do. We will be bringing lots of other content to the channel in coming weeks and even throughout the rest of the year. We do have all sorts of content planned to go out that is currently scheduled and pending in our YouTube studio. So we'll have lots and lots to bring to all of you in the near future, including some Oshkosh videos, as well as some sun and fun videos from Florida, and potentially even a little bit of air and water show videos that we intend to hopefully capture tomorrow. No promises on that, but do my best, and maybe you guys will see a little bit of that in the weeks to come. I don't know about you guys, but on my end it looks like this broadcast today is looking pretty crystal clear. I have thrown some extra sharpening and a little bit of color correction. No, actually, not even today. I didn't even use any today. But some digital sharpening as well as some enhanced stabilization, so you guys should be getting a very clear view from O'Hare today. Hopefully without too much lagging or any dropped frames. On my end, it appears to be looking pretty clear. Hopefully you guys are experiencing that as well and getting some good audio. We've got our mics all hooked up and got some live commentation as well as the natural sounds here at O'Hare. Again, current temperature here in Chicago, 73 degrees and overcast. Got some winds as well. Definitely feels chilly, but not intolerable. Got a nice light windbreaker jacket on. It's doing, of course, a great job of breaking the wind. Pip Hastings saying, see you later. It's dinner time for me. Thank you for tuning in, Pip. Glad to have you here on the broadcast, and enjoy your dinner. For those of you that are still here or just tuning in, we've got lots of aviation action coming to your screens. Departing up on the north side, we've got our TAP Air Portugal. Despite our overcast skies, we still have quite a clear shot of Chicago there. This might be the most visibility we've ever had of the city during a broadcast. Speedbird incoming. That's right. Gonna take a quick look at the radar here as you guys get a live view of the skyline. Just on the map now, up on the north cargo hold, we have a 7-4 Cargo Lux that should be departing up on the north side of the airport. We should capture the departure for all of you guys in a little bit. Kalita Air is still out on the tarmac, up on the north side as well. Our next arrival is our Speedbird British Airways 789 Dreamliner. Again, we do currently have aircrafts flowing in from the east, landing on runway 28 center. Real quick, we're going to head up and look at our ANA departure. all sorts of action up in the penalty box here. Multiple aircrafts have just been parked. Head back to our British Airways for a minute here. We've currently got 89 of you guys tuned into the broadcast. Glad to have each and every one of you here live with us at XLRS Aviation. Again, the Chicago skyline is clearer than ever. Little architecture fun fact, that building in the center of your screen that looks like it's got the black in the middle of the top, the little line up there, is actually empty. There are multiple empty floors in that building. The high rise, let's see, I wonder if I can point it out. Oh, nope, my finger's too fat for that. The high rise right above the Air Canada cargo sign, not the Trump Tower, but the one next to it. That building is the highest building built by a woman architect in the United States, and has an empty floor, 2 empty floors, maybe even 3, for airflow, so that during windy days or storms, that building does not move or shake the way it did prior. The only thing that is still there is the stairs and elevator, so if you've got a room above that empty floor, you'll still be able to access it. And a kind of a fun fact that pertains to this weekend, residents living in high-rise apartments down in Chicago, and any of the buildings down there that you can see, actually have to pay for the air and water show insurance for their building. So they actually have to pay an additional amount of insurance money in order for insurance on their condos or residential living, specifically for the air and water show, which is this weekend. Just kind of a fun fact for all of you. Of course, the 3 tallest towers that you're seeing there on your screen, we've got the tower with the empty building, we've got the Trump Tower, and we've got the Aon Center. Right below the Aon Center, Maggie Daley Park. Which is part of Millennium Park and the Pritzker Pavilion. And of course, the tallest building in Chicago, the Sears Tower, or of course, as many of us refer to it, the Willis Tower, which you'll see in just a moment as this British Airways crosses the tarmac in front of the Chicago skyline. Or maybe not. Let's see. There we go. Up in the top left corner. Quite interesting. This actually happened in a broadcast a few weeks ago. This British Airways arrival headed up towards the penalty box and just sat up here faced directly at the camera for 20 plus minutes. And I was unsure why, but it appears to be doing the exact same thing once again. Holding near the penalty box. Quite odd, but makes for a great shot for the rest of us watching. Just not for the little dudes hanging out in the aircraft that are stuck on the tarmac now. Bear with me here, I'm just gonna adjust the tripod a little bit to balance this shot out. Let's see here. Hopefully that's a little bit more even. There we go. Okay, try to keep that centered in your screen here for a minute. Got a banana hanging out on the tarmac at the moment. Throw some bananas in the live chat. Got a nice little Spirit Airlines hanging out. And our British Airways appears to be on the move now. Headed directly towards the penalty box. Quite odd. Of course, you've got the whited out windows for the first class suites up in the front of this aircraft. Quite a good amount of lineups in terms of arrivals here at O'Hare. Beanie saying, hey. Hello, thank you for joining us live here at O'Hare. Corey saying, thanks for all the info you are giving. Being asking, is Pip still here? No, I believe he left just a little bit ago for dinner, but he may be back in a little bit. S.J. Gibson 167 saying hello from the UK. Hello, and thank you for joining us here at O'Hare International Airport. It's great to have you. Great to have some international viewers tuning in. glad to have the ability to broadcast out to anybody that wants to watch from anywhere via YouTube. It's good to have you tuning in, so thank you very much for joining us. And he asks, are you leaving for college tomorrow? Not tomorrow. I'm actually leaving on Monday, but nonetheless coming up soon. This Spirit Airlines Flying Banana just now parking in the penalty box. Still see those engines spinning. Sometimes I do wonder what the pilots are thinking when they see a guy up on a hill with a bright orange vest and a camera facing right at him. What is that kid doing? Should I call ATC? Do I just wave at the camera and pretend it's not there? Don't worry, we do have credentials to be here, but nonetheless, I always wonder what the pilots are thinking when they see a bright orange camera, or a bright orange vest and a big old camera facing right at them here at O'Hare. Penalty box filling up quick. Lots and lots of aircrafts parking in the penalty box for whatever reason. It appears we've got our Lufthansa arrival down on the south side, arriving on runway 28 center. Lance saying, moving my daughter back to IU on the 22nd for her junior year. That's awesome. I've got a friend that goes to IU. Also got a friend going to Purdue. A little rivalry action going on. Current time is 6:56, meaning we are just 4 minutes out from our next top of the hour briefing, which will be 7 o'clock. Daniel says, I'm back. Thank you for joining us and hopping back on the stream, Daniel. Glad to have you back here on the broadcast. Lance says, even though I only started watching a month ago, I will definitely miss your Friday night streams. That's great to hear. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed these broadcasts, and of course we'll hope to bring them back next summer. But I'm glad that many of you have tuned in consistently and joined us for our Friday happy hour streams at 5 p.m. Hopefully y'all got a little something out of these broadcasts. And of course, if you did enjoy, this is our grand finale broadcast. We would be very appreciative if you sent any super chats as little as 99 cents. So a little thank you for the broadcast we've been bringing you. Of course, no pressure at all. But we would greatly appreciate the support. It'll help us continue bringing you these live broadcasts in the future and in years to come. But of course, just by tuning in, we are very, very thankful for you joining us and getting our viewership up as we continue to grow the channel and build our community. One thing I'm very thankful for is, in addition to all of you watching, the fact that we've established a live stream setup that is fairly reliable and allows us to bring you these Friday happy hour broadcasts regardless of the weather conditions or where we're located. Despite a few hiccups in the broadcasts, we've still been able to deliver you guys these happy hour streams quite consistently, which I'm very, very happy about. Those of you that are longtime veterans know that we attempted streaming about 3 years ago for the first time, and it was absolutely horrendous. We had dropped frames the entire stream. It was basically just you guys watching pictures frame or change each minute. So that was an experience for us, and I'm sure for all of you. But we've certainly come a long way, and it's all thanks to you guys and your viewership. All of you loyal subscribers here at XLRS Aviation. We, of course, would not be here without all of you and without the experience that you guys have provided us with. It appears our next departure is starting to make a move on the runway. Big rivalry schools, that's right. Taking a quick look at the radar. That Lufthansa A350 that you all just saw moments ago arrived from Munich after a flight time of 9 hours and 13 minutes. SJ Gibson 167 saying, "This is my first time catching your stream. Have subscribed at nearly 1 a.m. here for me." Wow, that's quite early, or should I say late in the night. But thank you so much for your subscription, and thank you very much for tuning into the stream. It's great to have new viewers joining us on each broadcast. It's fantastic to watch this community grow every week when we bring you guys these happy hour broadcasts. To see the subscriber count go up and see more and more of you enjoying these broadcasts. So thank you very much for subscribing to the channel and for sharing your support and joining this fantastic plane spotting community. Beanie coming to Chi-Town in late August. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy our wonderful city and all it has to offer. I just realized that the send key is a paper airplane on cell phones. Yeah, that's right. Ironic? I think not. Lance asking, what do you use for your internet connection? Well, giggle all you want, but my phone, I use a hotspot through AT&T on my phone. It's somewhat reliable. I mean, many of you know, every now and then, especially later in the broadcast, we get dropped frames and lagging and whatnot. But it's been our best option thus far. We've tried many mobile hotspots and internet connection solutions, but the best one this far, at least, has been using my phone. I've got an iPhone 14, and just using the mobile data hotspot on that phone. It's done a pretty good job of bringing you all consistent feed. Knock on wood. I really hope we keep a consistent stream going today, but you never know. We've never figured out why the tech gremlins do what they do. Sometimes they just hop in and make things kind of crazy and cut out frames and slow the stream down. So keeping my fingers crossed that we continue delivering you guys a clear stream today without lagging or dropped frames. But of course, you never know what's going to happen. And if it does, that's all right. We'll attempt to reboot the stream, and if we can't, then we'll end it. But we've gotten a good solid hour here, and speaking of it, 7:02, which of course means it's time for our top of the hour. We're just going to follow this Frontier Airlines aircraft for a little bit here before we hop into our top of the hour, but bear with me here as we brief you all live from O'Hare. All right, everyone, let's get to it. It is that time now. Time to get back to our top of the hour. All right, everybody, it is currently August 9th, 2024. You are watching live coverage from O'Hare International Airport here on XLRS Aviation Live. In our opinion, the best broadcast that you can get from O'Hare, but of course, that's quite biased. Again, current weather in Chicago, 72 degrees, cloudy skies. Hopefully it'll clear up a little bit as the sun goes down. Maybe even get a little bit of golden hour action. It is 7:04 p.m. Central Standard Time. Light winds, again, 72 degrees. It'll dip down to the 60s in the next hour after the sun has gone down. But of course, nonetheless, it's a great day to be spotting and a great day to be tuning in to XLRS Live. We're gonna look through the comment section real quick as I reframe the camera here. See what you guys are up to in the comment section. Lance says, I have live streamed with my DJI Mini 4 Pro using my phone hotspot, and it was actually better than I expected. You know, you'll have to let me know how that was. I've got a DJI Mini, and I'd really love to try that broadcast feature, but I just don't know what it's like or how reliable it is. I really love using my drone. I've never tried doing a live broadcast with it, so that might be something I'll have to try out, see how it looks on YouTube maybe. That would definitely be kind of interesting to try out. I'm sure kind of fun to do also, have a live broadcast from the sky. Although, quite frankly, this broadcast today kind of looks like it's a live broadcast from the sky. We've got a beautiful view of the skyline, unobstructed. The only thing in the way is a bunch of aircrafts, which is, of course, why you guys are all here watching today. So nonetheless, again, thank you to all 84 of you currently joining us live here at XLRS Aviation. We've got Wet Leg B saying hi. Thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Glad to have you here. And again, current time, 7:05 p.m., temperature 72 degrees. And with that, let's get back to some live plane spotting here at O'Hare International Airport. Again, just another reminder, we have Super Chats enabled for this grand finale broadcast. If you want to send as little as 99 cents, that little money icon in the bottom right corner of your screen will do all the magic for you. Make the money just disappear from your bank account like a little magic trick. But again, in all seriousness, we would really greatly appreciate your support here at XLRS Aviation Live. It means a lot to us to have you guys donate to us, which means that we can continue bringing you these live broadcasts. And if you do feel so inclined, you can send just as little as 99 cents and we'll throw it back into the live production of these broadcasts, as well as the content that you get on XLRS Aviation, our YouTube channel. Again, if anybody is just now tuning in, this is our final happy hour broadcast of the summer, unfortunately. But not to fret, we will still have lots and lots of aviation action coming to the channel in short form and long form videos. Plenty on the way for all of you. If you never want to miss any of it, feel free to subscribe and turn on those notifications. It means you will always be notified when we post a new video. And of course, it's the best way to stay in touch with XLRS Aviation Live, if we ever do go live again in the near future. (757AP), you wouldn't be able to use a drone at the airport, right? That is correct. Using a drone in airspace is extremely illegal, but you know what? People have tried it anyway, which is definitely not a good idea. There were actually reports from pilots flying into O'Hare somewhat recently of a drone strike to a wing. There is an aircraft that had to reroute itself and do an emergency landing at O'Hare after seeing a drone that had potentially gotten sucked up by the engine. You see all those AI videos, but it was supposedly a real encounter as a plane was departing from O'Hare, heading towards the city. The pilot had to call into ATC and report an emergency landing after seeing a drone supposedly either hit the wing or hit the engines. And then there was another situation following that one where a pilot, multiple pilots actually, in the arrival formation spotted a drone very, very high up above legal limits. For those of you unfamiliar with the drone laws, the highest you are legally allowed to fly in open airspace, meaning that you are nowhere near an airport, is 400 feet, according to the FAA. You do need a Part 107 license in order to fly a drone commercially, meaning that you are making money from using that drone, or if it is over 249 grams, 250 grams actually. But of course, DJI, who the government is, I believe, still working to ban, offers the Mavic Mini, which is 249 grams, which I'm sure made government officials real happy, because it is just 1 gram under the legal limit required to have a Part 107 drone license. But yeah, in terms of drone laws, they're very, very strict. Very much could not fly a drone near or on airport property. That would result in some very, very bad things. I very much do not recommend doing that. But nonetheless, it's a good question. Let's take a quick look at the comment section here. I was here 3 weeks ago flying back to the UK, says Old Man Knuckle. Glad that you had the opportunity to check out O'Hare. Hope you enjoyed your experience. I do recall reading that correctly. It would blow my mind if it was allowed. Yeah, that's right. Flying a drone on airport property, never a good idea. Not even near it. Mark saying hi, and a $30 super chat. Potentially our largest super chat we've received on the broadcasts, happy hour broadcasts. Rolling in from Garrett, saying, I'll be flying through O'Hare's little sister midway in October. Thank you for the beautiful Chicago skyline shots this summer. Stay safe and good luck. Thank you so much for your $30 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Again, we are so grateful to have viewers like you guys that donate and tune into our broadcasts and subscribe. It's great to have such a loyal community here at XLRS Aviation Live. We really love having all of you guys tune in to the broadcasts and watch our content. Of course, we'll continue to deliver you all lots and lots of content throughout the year, but unfortunately this is our last live broadcast of the summer. So again, Garrett, thank you so much for your $30 super chat. Glad you'll be flying into Chicago soon. I hope you enjoy Midway. I don't know if you have seen it or not, but I actually did post a Midway review about 2 years back. They had some horrible service. I'm sure it'll be good for you and won't have any problems, but they had a skeleton crew the night that I arrived. It was during winter break. For those of you unaware what that means, it literally means that there was zero personnel out on the tarmac. So we held on the runway for about 2 hours after arriving from Tampa TPA. And then following that arrival, after sitting on the tarmac, we finally found a gate, and after getting off the jet bridge, realized that there was nobody to take the bags of the aircraft. So we actually sat on the floor at Midway Airport from 2 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. as we waited for bags, and quickly realized that that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So me and my brothers ended up sleeping on the floor of Midway Airport. So that was a poor experience. O'Hare has done wonders for us and has always been a very, very good airport to fly out of. But I'm sure, Garrett, you will be set and hopefully will not have that issue. It's been resolved. Southwest sent out vouchers and said that it would never happen again. So I hope for your sake and for the sake of Chicago economy that does not happen again, because that would be not so great. But again, thank you so much for that $30 super chat. We really, really appreciate it here at XLRS Aviation. And I hope you have a fantastic travel experience here at Midway. And I hope you enjoy Chicago and all that it has to offer. I've spent lots and lots of time in Chicago this summer, so I've got all sorts of fun stories about that. Maybe I'll share them later in the broadcast. I can tell you all the places to go. Best food, best music, in a teenager's opinion. We have some other spotters that have just joined us up here on the hill, setting up some camera equipment, getting ready to do some filming. Lance saying it would be disappointing if they did ban DJI, as there are no US-made drones that are affordable. I absolutely agree. There's all sorts of problems with the DJI ban, but hopefully it won't go through. If it does, that would make it very difficult for about 1 million people to do their job. Garrett, they got me once a few years ago when a thunderstorm broke out right after I'd landed. My luggage sat out in the open while the handlers ran for cover. And rightfully so, but still. Yup, that sums up Midway for you. You know what? It just makes us adore O'Hare just that much more. They've constantly got crews on the ground and multiple ATC towers. Things are always moving quickly and efficiently, but nonetheless, I hope you have a fantastic experience rolling through Midway later in the coming weeks. Bad weather here in Chicago can always make for some questionable travel experiences, but nonetheless, it makes it a little bit more fun, a little more interesting. Potentially leads you to some free food vouchers if you end up staying long enough at the airport. Go demand you some free Fonterra. I think that might be the best restaurant at O'Hare. I think it's Frontera. Frontera. Someone correct me. I kind of got no clue. I forgot the name. I just remember they had like really good chili or something like that a few years ago. Who knows? I stand by this to this day. I still think my favorite restaurant is Skyline Chili. For those of you living in Ohio or Indiana, or really any of you Midwestern people, let me know, have you been to Skyline Chili? I think every single time I've been there, it has slapped. It's so good. Sometimes I get asked, what would your last meal be if you had to choose? And I would very likely have to go with a 5-way or a 3-way from Skyline Chili. Those of you living in Cincinnati know exactly what I'm talking about. And in my opinion, it is absolutely to die for. Guys, this is what happens when I run the broadcast. You don't get very much information about the aircraft. You hear all about food. But hey, it is what it is. I've got the yapper constantly going. But I'm sure hopefully many of you enjoy that we've got live commentation here on our broadcast, especially when Ryder's around, to inform you all about the aviation world and all that's going on that front. Let's take another quick look at the skyline here as the sun continues to head down. That's right, Daniel, some nice UA 7.4. What am I saying? Not 7.4, 7.5. You know, Ryder, his dad actually flew on a United Airlines 7.4 prior to them retiring. Ryder always says he wishes he was able to be there for that experience and be able to hop on a 7.4 with United, but He did very fortunately get to fly on both the A380 and the Lufthansa 74 when he went to Germany earlier this summer. I don't know that he ever talked about that on the broadcast. Maybe that'll be a future topic that we'll have to cover on the broadcast, but I know he had a really good experience with that and enjoyed it. As you can see, we've got quite the lineup of arrivals out on the east side of O'Hare. And no shortage of action, of course. Unfortunately, we haven't had very many departures here on the south side of the airport, but it's not to say that we won't get any. Couldn't be better timing. We've got a Cargolux 7.4 as well as this Atlas Air that you're looking at on your screen, both of which appear to be departing very, very soon here on the center runway at O'Hare. It'll be a 747 race. Which one is going to get to the departure runway first? Again, there you go. If this does not demonstrate how busy O'Hare is, I don't know what will. Look at that crazy taxiing lineup out on the runway. Let's see, it looks like our Atlas Air is the most likely to depart first here on the center runway at O'Hare, but you never really know what ATC is up to up in the tower. They may as well send Atlas Air to the cargo, the Canada Cargo runway, the short little one. I believe that's 22 left. Atlas Air, gotta move on it. We'll bring you all to that departure. Very likely to be our next departure lined up here on the runway in the center of O'Hare. That's right, Daniel, we've got crazy action going on here on the tarmac. Lots and lots of departures around this time, 7:20 p.m. here in Chicago, which means all of the evening flights are heading out. Again, I intend to keep this broadcast going until around 8 or 8:30 at the latest. We've got hopefully just about another hour of action for all of you here at O'Hare. And again, just a reminder, we do have those super chats enabled. If you'd like to send as little as $1, we would greatly appreciate your support. And we'll of course roll it back into the future production of these broadcasts and the content that you see on XLRS Aviation. Again, look at this insane lineup of aircrafts on your screen right now. O'Hare is extremely busy right now, as you can all see. Wild lineup of both arrivals and departures. It's definitely starting to feel chillier. The wind is picking up and it's about 70 degrees, which typically would feel quite warm, but unfortunately we don't have the sun the way that we typically would, so it's feeling quite chilly, like a little fall afternoon. Again, check out this insane action here at the airport right now, as our evening departures begin to ramp up. It does look like we're getting a little bit of some signal issues, but it's okay. Looks like we're staying pretty strong for the most part. Again, we are intending to wrap up in just about 40 minutes. Our final happy hour broadcast. It's quite lonely without Ryder, but that's okay. Again, this Atlas Air 74, most likely to be our next departure here at O'Hare. John says, I have been in that long line at O'Hare on American. Yeah, I've been in that line plenty of times. It's quite the wait, quite the wait. Well, in the meantime, let's bring you back to some arrival and departure action. We've got a departure up on the north side of the airport. Some fellow spotters here as well, as we are live here at the airport. All right, let's bring you all some live action and of these arrivals. Check out all of that action, everybody. Quite the busy runway we've got today. ATL asking, do I have food? Well, I do have a box of canes sitting in the passenger seat of my vehicle, but that's my post-broadcast little exciting meal. We do have up on down on the south side our Aer Lingus arrival of the day. All right, let's see. Here comes, everybody, our very first 7-4 of the hour. Wow. Again, check out all that action. 7-4 back behind all the rest of those aircraft and all of the heat waves. That Atlas 7-4 soon to depart out of O'Hare. Again, this Atlas 7-4 off to Anchorage. That flight time will be approximately 8 hours. Should be departing in just a moment here at O'Hare. first time you hear the airplane turbine? Well, quite frankly, I don't really remember because I was pretty small when I went on my first flight. But nonetheless, it's always intriguing to hear those engines start to spool up before any flight, knowing that you're off to a hopefully good destination and about to take off in any aircraft that you're on. Just so that you guys all know, the crackling that you're hearing is most likely just either from the microphone rubbing up against my jacket or from the windbreaker that I'm wearing. So no audio issues, just a little bit of rubbing up against what I'm wearing right now. Daniel's saying wowzers. All right, everybody, the sun has come out. Oh my goodness, look at this lighting, everybody. Everything behind this Spirit Airlines extremely dark because that beautiful golden hour sun is peaked out. It also looks like, in addition to the sun peeking out, we have some poor signal, but that's okay. Hopefully it'll pick back up in just a moment here as our 7-4 departs in front of the skyline. Wow, look at that lighting, everybody. That is insane. Holy cow. I mean, seriously, look at the skyline in the back. Look how dark that is. This is wild. I don't think we've never had lighting like this before on any of our broadcasts. Wow, look at this, everybody. In just a moment, this aircraft will pop up into the sun and you're gonna see it's gonna be absolutely illuminated by golden sun. I lied. Oh well. Check out this beautiful golden hour sunlight. All right, everybody, our Atlas Air is getting a move on it. Just gonna keep my fingers crossed that we keep a steady connection. Pretty please, AT&T, do me a favor. All right, I'm gonna give you just natural audio now, no commentation. 7578P saying, if that view isn't enough to smack the like button, I don't know what is. That is correct, everybody. We would greatly appreciate you subscribing or hitting the like button. But hey, here comes our next departure. Golly, back-to-back 7.4s, everybody. Bringing you all back to some golden hour spotting. We've got some aircraft action in the penalty box here at O'Hare. Let's see. It does look like, unfortunately, we're getting some really spotty connection, but we'll hope that it comes back strong and that you guys have a good connection in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to try moving my phone real quick, see if that helps fix our connection issues. I'm not entirely sure what exactly is causing them at the moment, but we'll see if I can fix it. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Again, just another reminder, we do have those super chats enabled. If you do want to send as little as $1, we would really, really appreciate your support, and we'll roll it back into the future production of these live streams. You just hit the little button in the bottom right corner of your screen if you feel so inclined, and send us a little bit of a super chat donation. Thank you. Well, I moved my phone and it looks like we're getting much better reliable connection, so hopefully that continues for all of you guys currently tuned in. Wow, I feel like it hit 7:30 and then boom. Oh, hair got real busy and real loud, real fast. Here's your Aer Lingus flight of the day. Look at that skyline, everyone. Look at that. Well, now's your chance, everybody. If you do want to send a super chat, you will get the glory and honor of your super chat being put up on the screen over the Chicago skyline during sunset on the last happy hour XLRS broadcast of the year. Again, you can do so by just clicking the little button in the bottom right corner of your screen in the live chat, sending as little as 99 cents. We would really greatly appreciate it, and we'll throw your super chat up on the screen in front of the Chicago skyline amidst a beautiful, beautiful sunset here at O'Hare. Wow. It's a beautiful, beautiful view, everybody. Look at these clouds, guys. Look at these clouds. Again, if you want to see this sunset in the highest quality you can, head into your settings of this video and choose the quality and up it to 720p for high definition viewing, and you'll see the literal shining of the sun off of all these signs down on the tarmac, as well as the beautiful Chicago skyline. Good question. This broadcast will be just about another 30 minutes before we wrap up. We'll head into just a little bit past sunset, and then we will wrap up the stream. Thank you for asking. All right, real quick, everybody. I am going to move the camera a little bit so I can face it at the sun and give you guys a beautiful view of the sunset real quick. Bear with me here as I move the camera. Goodness. Look at that, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful sunset here at O'Hare. As the action ramps up and the sun goes down. Wow. It's a great way to wrap up our happy hour series. The wonderful, wonderful sunset. All right, I'm gonna move the camera back. I'm gonna get back to some spotting action here. Look at that, everybody. It's really something. Beautiful, beautiful sunset over Chicago here. Got the tail of an Aer Lingus and View of the skyline. I know we're an aviation channel, but nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of that just beautiful, beautiful sunset here at O'Hare. Get one more quick look over there as the sun goes down here at O'Hare. All right, we're gonna bring it back. Rein it in. Here we go. A little bit more spotting action here at O'Hare. Time is currently 8 p.m. and I think you guys know what that means. It is time for our top of the hour briefing. That's right, everybody. Here we go. Well, everybody, you are currently watching live aviation action. Today is August 9th, 2024, and you are watching XLRS Aviation Live, a live broadcast from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport right after the sun has set. Current temperature 69 degrees and sunny with some clouds overhead, light and variable winds, but nonetheless a wonderful, wonderful day to be spotting. Thank you all so much for joining me, and so glad to have all of you here on the broadcast. We've got a $10 super chat rolling in from Lance saying best wishes for college this fall and thank you for the happy hour. Thank you so much for your donation. We really, really appreciate your support here at XLRS Aviation. It really, really does mean so much to us here at XLRS Aviation Live. So glad to have so many of you wonderful, wonderful viewers here on the channel. And although I'd love to keep yapping, I'm actually going to turn the camera to what appears to be an emergency on the tarmac here. And let's get to that. Out on the tarmac here, we've got multiple emergency response vehicles, part of the Chicago Police Department, as well as what appears to be, over on the south side, a large crew of response vehicles. Not sure what the emergency is, but you can actually see multiple vehicles out on the tarmac right now. I'm not entirely sure what the situation is right now, but again, we've got multiple emergency response vehicles waiting out on the tarmac here. It appears that the vast majority of them are flocking up to the north side, but we've also got multiple down on the east end of the airport as well. If anybody is tuned into flight radar, or I mean live ATC, and has any idea what's going on, let me know. Again, we have what appears to be an emergency here at O'Hare, with multiple emergency response vehicles out on the tarmac. Again, you are watching this unfold live right now. Not sure what's going on. All right, let's stick with our emergency. Very much unsure of what's going on right now. But again, we've got emergency vehicles in 4 spots here at O'Hare right now. Let me know down in the live chat if you've got any insight as to what's going on right now. Again, you are currently watching an emergency unfold at O'Hare, or what appears to be an emergency. I cannot say anything factually, but it appears that we do have some sort of emergency at O'Hare at the moment. We are not sure what that is, but we've got emergency vehicles at all angles of O'Hare. We've got multiple on the south side, multiple on the north side. We're gonna head over real quick to this 7-4 departure. I apologize for the camera shaky, or the shaky camera work. I'm trying my best here to figure out what is going on the tarmac right now as this emergency unfolds. Let's see. Lance says no emergency aircraft on Skyglass. We've got a diverted aircraft, it appears. Let's see, yep. 757AP saying AW16145 diverted back to O'Hare with a lot of emergency personnel awaiting its arrival. Head over real quick to this Lufthansa, our A340. All right, let's head over to that emergency arrival. All right, it looks like emergency personnel are making their way to the east side of the airport right now, responding to this emergency. Huh. Again, we're keeping the shot, as hard as it is, up on the east side of the airport where there appears to be an emergency. Just responding to this comment, what is the grand finale? This is the final broadcast of this series on XLRS Aviation called Happy Hour, the Happy Hour broadcast. This is our final broadcast of the summer here on XLRS Aviation Live, which is why this is our grand finale. Again, we are currently watching what appears to be an aviation emergency unfold here at O'Hare, with what appears to be 7 to 10 emergency vehicles out on the tarmac with their lights on. Again, I will continue following this action, but we're gonna head over to this next departure here, up on the north side of the airport, our Swiss flight of the day. All right. Again, not entirely sure what is happening right now, but the only emergency vehicle I can currently see with the camera is this one on the south side of the airport, as well as there are some emergency vehicles. I can see some lights up there on the north side. Huh. Again, for any of you tuning in right now, you are currently watching what appears to be an aviation emergency unfold here at O'Hare International Airport, with multiple emergency personnel on the ground right now. I am looking right now to see on flight radar where this diverted aircraft is, and I'm not entirely sure where it is located at the moment. Let's see here. I believe it is up on the north side of the airport, situated somewhere near our cargo locks. Let's see. We've got emergency lights up north up there. I am going to cut real quick to a beautiful shot of the A340 here. It looks like we've got some spotty connection, but nonetheless, I'm trying to keep with it here as we continuously follow whatever action is currently occurring right now. All right, let's see. Again, we've got an emergency vehicle. Now most of them are out of the camera sight, but we've got two emergency vehicles up north. Again, I apologize for this spotty connection. As we get later into the night, my hotspot tends to kind of die out for whatever reason and cut out on the stream. But again, I will maintain, oh, the lights just went on, this broadcast as long as I can as we go into the night here. And hopefully we determine what emergency was occurring here at the airport. All right, it now looks like we've got an emergency vehicle situated by the United Terminal. I can see emergency lights on the east side of the airport, but they're just far enough behind the terminal that I don't think the camera can pick it up. Oh, let's see, that emergency vehicle has moved. Okay. Again, we're following this emergency live here in XLRS Aviation as it's developing. It appears there's an ambulance heading up to the north side, as well as multiple emergency vehicles on the northeast side of the airport. Let's see. We are still tracking that ambulance. We do have our A340 currently taxiing through the penalty box here at O'Hare. I apologize for this connection issue. This is honestly the worst time to have connection issues, and I'm not sure why they are occurring, but let's see. I believe the emergency vehicles are all at this point back behind the terminal. This is very much not a normal situation here at O'Hare. Yeah, I'm still very unsure of what this emergency is, but still looking to follow whatever is currently unfolding here at O'Hare. Again, I apologize for this poor connection. I'm really not sure what's causing it. I often find that later into the evenings, my hotspot ends up kind of clunking out, getting real bad. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to move my phone around and see if there's a best location to set it in order to retain that connection. I haven't really determined what will fix this. Alright, I have moved my computer and phone to a new location that may potentially deliver better reception. Looks like there's no talk of it on ground control, supposedly. With that said, because of the streaming issues I am having, I do think it is about time to wrap up the broadcast. But what I'm going to do is record with the camera, and I will upload any new developments in this situation and upload it to our channel. So be sure to subscribe so that you are updated with any upcoming posts. Again, I am keeping an eye out, trying my best to see what's going on here, but it's not very apparent. Sounds like air traffic control has not said anything, but there are lots and lots of emergency vehicles on the tarmac. Alright everybody, we are going to push through to 8:30 p.m. It's currently 8:22 here. We will be wrapping up the broadcast, our final happy hour special on XLRS Aviation. That will be over in just under 8 minutes. Again, we're wrapping this up at 8:30 due to some unfortunately poor connection issues, but again, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you do want to be made aware of any of our future broadcasts or posts. And we will be wrapping up at 8:30 p.m. tonight. As we wrap up today's broadcast, of course, I do want to just remind you all, as we wrap this final happy hour broadcast up, we do have super chats enabled and are accepting as little as $1 donations. We would really greatly appreciate your support here at XLRS Aviation Live. This aircraft on your screen, the A340. I am still looking to see if there are any emergency vehicles within view. Looks like we've still got a few up north. Alright everybody, it's 8:25. These last 5 minutes I am going to just leave the camera primarily on the Skyline. Unfortunately we do have that sketchy connection right now. For whatever reason it gets really, really bad going into night. I'm not really sure why, but again, hopefully we will invest in a more permanent solution in order to avoid these issues in the future and have a steady connection for our future broadcasts. But again, we cannot do that without you guys' support. We really, really appreciate having all of you tune in and appreciate all the super chats that you guys have sent. And again, we do have 5 more minutes, keeping those super chats open just in case you do feel so inclined to send us as little as $1. We would greatly appreciate it, and hopefully get a more reliable connection for these broadcasts in the future when we come back next year. Again, this is our final broadcast of the year, so thank you all so much for tuning in these last few Fridays. And I hope you guys have enjoyed these broadcasts here in XLRS Aviation Live. We certainly have enjoyed it, behind the camera, behind the computer, behind the microphones. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We are super glad to have all of you loyal guys, loyal viewers tuning in. And of course, we will be posting still on the channel some more typical aircraft content, some air shows and such. So stay tuned for that, maybe some trip reviews, potentially even another cockpit review. We know that did quite well on the channel last time, so be on the lookout for all of that. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in to XLRS Aviation this wonderful evening. It's 8:26 p.m. I'm just going to leave the camera on the Skyline for now, unless I see any emergency developments. But again, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll wrap up in these next 4 minutes here. Again, we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and viewing XLRS Aviation Live. We'll see you all again in the future, hopefully. And thank you all for being the loyal viewers and supporters that you are. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and thank you for choosing to join us tonight on our final happy hour special. Hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your night and wonderful rest of the year. Remember, we will be posting content consistently on the channel. Lots of videos and shorts coming soon, so again, be sure to subscribe in order to stay updated. And again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all in the future. We've got 2 more minutes. We're just looking to leave this shot up in the Skyline and wrap up at 8:30 p.m. So again, thank you all so much, and have a wonderful rest of your night. We do have those super chats enabled. If anybody wants to leave a little bit of a super chat thank you, we'd really appreciate it as we wrap this up. But thank you all for tuning in and joining us tonight. All right, good night, everybody. We will see you in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in to XLRS Aviation, and have a wonderful rest of your night.